Hey, what's up? My name is Max and I want to share with you a totally free lesson of one of my courses called Remote User Testing with Figma and Maze. I'm constantly publishing online classes around the topics of user experience design and research under what I call the UX Design 101. And you can find all of my online classes on Skillshare. The links are down below. I want to share this excerpt of one of my courses because I think the topic of user testing with Figma in particular has not been covered that broadly yet. So I hope that all of you can benefit from it. It's not the full class, but it's one very good video about Maze, the tool that makes the magic happen, and will give you a good idea of what's going on, how to actually do the user testing, and of course, what the experience of my online classes is like. So without further ado, let's jump over to the lesson. Enjoy. Alright, now that we are done with the Figma part, we can move over to Maze, and let's just make ourselves familiar with the tool itself before we start actually importing the prototype link, right? So this is the website of Maze, maze.co, and I think I can explain or make it a bit more understandable what it's all about by just showing you these two pages here. So at first, this is about the user testing. It's a visually very nice tool that actually talks your users through the test. So you have to think of a prototype, think of your Figma prototype, but on the side you would have a bar that has some instructions regarding the current mission. So for example, in our case, it would be open your assets and try to find a way to open the assets within this interface, something like that. And then the user would have to solve this mission, and only if the user succeeds, the app would provide some sort of success message and enable the user to continue to the next part of the test. And it's, as I said, visually very, very appealing. It's very easy to understand. They, of course, paid a lot of attention to their own usability and user experience. So it makes a lot of sense to use this, and even for quantitative research, because with this Maze link, you can basically just with a survey link send it out to, even hundreds of people if you want. And if you do the instructions well enough, if you provide everything your users need, they can basically do the testing on their own and you will see the results drop in. And that's actually quite a nice idea to do that. I myself also used it for the qualitative testing in remote scenarios, and it worked really, really well because I could also just have used the Figma prototype link, sent it over to my test peers, have them share their screens, record everything, and take notes. Then I would have covered 2 of the 3 inside streams I mentioned earlier. But I have to say that these reports are quite worth the effort of importing everything here. As I said, or as you can also see here, you get a lot of numbers, and numbers are always a nice thing that they convince very, very well. Stakeholders love numbers, everyone loves numbers, so even this usability score, which is questionable, I'm not really sure how they calculate the usability score, but it kind of makes sense in the context of the entire report. You get a lot of evaluations regarding the misclicks because Maze knows where the interactive areas are from your Figma prototype, and if users don't hit that area, this will be counted as a misclick, which will then also be visualized in this heat map. Maybe there are also these kind of heat maps here on this page, so you can see all the different filter options that you have. These kinds of bounce rate visualizations, whatever. Everything is exportable, everything is really presentable actually, so you can send around the report as well, much like in Typeform, which I had another class about. So if you want to check out this reporting topic regarding surveys, then check out this course as well. And yeah, I would say without further ado, just jump into the importing, right? I have to log in for that case, and here I have one open slot. As you can see, I'm on the free plan. I used to be on the paid plan, so I had multiple projects here which are now all archived. So this is what happens when you switch from the paid plan to the free plan, but you have more than one project which is included in the free plan, then these projects will move to the archive section. So let's go ahead and create a new project. And here you can select if you want to do a Maze discovery or a user testing. And the discovery goes more into the server direction, whereas the user testing goes into the interactive direction. So you can see here it just asks for a project name. Here it asks for the prototype link, which I hopefully still have in my clipboard. Yes, let's click on create, and Maze will do its magic. So we just have to wait a few seconds, and then we should be able to work with the prototype and add all of our questions. So success. This is looking good. Here on the right hand side, you can see that it's preloading the prototype as we have it on Figma, and it's theoretically interactive already. So what's now happening is that we're in the first mission. You can see you can add different blocks here. Missions are parts of the user journey. Then you can add yes and no questions. You can add an opinion scale. You can add a multiple choice question, an open question. You can add additional context screens, which are just providing more information. So you can add any kind of graphics here or text. Well, a tree test to show how users navigate to find information, card sorting even. Crazy how many different tests or question types they implemented here. A 5-second test. And here legal screen, of course, the legal screen, the welcome page, the thank you page are things that are not available in the free plan, probably as well as removing the brand or something like that. But we don't need this for our case here. So the first mission is, in our case, navigate to your assets. Description would be something like, try to find a way of how to open up your assets overview. All right, and now we have to define the expected path, which would be in this case simply clicking here on the green module. We'll click here, and that's already it for this mission. And we just leave it like that, and we can just for fun add a question afterwards. So what will happen in the prototype is the user will hopefully manage to succeed and complete this mission, and after that there will be a success message, and then we can continue as the user can continue to the next question or mission. In our case, we want to add a yes and no question. The question would be, this is just for the demo purpose here. Would you say, or let's say, did you like this experience? We don't need any extra notes, and we can switch between icons for this check mark and the cross or emotions or smileys. Let's stick with the icons. We don't need any additional image or notes in our case. And the conditions are also only available in the paid plan. Conditions, you might be are already familiar with them from the surveys. You can do conditional linkings here. So if someone says no, then you could go to a follow-up question on that. And I'll just see that this is actually German here. So Maze, what Maze does is it checks for your browser setting, and obviously the language setting for my browser seems to be the German one, because I'm located in Germany. This makes sense as users who access your prototypes in Maze will see the correct language right away. But I'm not sure if I really like this, to be honest, because this is the perfect example, because I just don't want to see it in German in this case, but I have to see it, and there's no way for me to switch that without changing my user agent, I'm afraid. Okay, so we would just go ahead and create the next mission in this case. So the good thing here is that once you create a new mission, the first screen for the path will be the last screen of your previous mission. And again, it's just the same as before. We're providing the user with a task that's easy and understandable. And in this case, we want to go back to the home page. So the task would be close the asset overview. And description could be something like find a way to get back to your home screen. And then we would need to define the path, which is simply clicking on the X icon up here, and this would finalize this mission. And now again, we can add a question here. In this case, maybe an open question, which would be please share your thoughts about the click flow up to this point. And we just say it's a text type. We don't need any image or additional notes. So you could see this here, and it's again in German. It just says please enter your answer. And this button also is in German, and it says continue, so just so you know what this is all about here. And then we would wrap up everything by adding the last mission in this case. So we select mission, and the last screen that we provided is the account screen or profile screen, but as the label says account, we will of course also just ask for the account page, and the task could be something like open up your accounts page. And again, the description could be something like try to find a way to access your personal account. And then again, let's define the mission by clicking on this button, and that's it. And I hope you got an idea of how to use this, of how to configure your Maze prototype. In the next step, in the next chapter, I will go through the Maze link and discuss how everything is actually looking like when a user would access the link. And after that, we will take a look at the evaluation. So see you soon. Alright, I hope you liked that lesson about user testing with Figma and Maze. If you want to watch the full class, in which I also explain how to connect Figma with Maze, how to use the Maze prototypes for testing and even remote testing, and how to evaluate the test runs, I would love to see you on Skillshare. Just give it a try and sign up. The first 2 weeks are free if you're following my links, and apart from being able to access all of my courses, you can also access every other course on Skillshare, and there are quite a lot of it on almost any topic that you could think of. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.